Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. In case you're new here, my name is Chris, I'm a student in Germany and I make videos about useful tech to make your everyday life easier. Today I want to talk about the Ubiquiti Amplifi HD Router, which is a Wi-Fi router for apartments and can be used as a mesh system for bigger homes as well. The video is split into 3 different parts. I'll have the timestamps in the description in case you want to jump ahead. I'll start off with a short conclusion to save you time if you're just here for that. After that, we'll talk about the app, the hardware, and then I'll go a little deeper into answering the question who this product is for and if it's the right purchase for you. Overall, I'm very satisfied with the Amplifi HD router. It provides a very stable and reliable Wi-Fi connection across all my devices. The setup was pretty easy for someone that has absolutely no idea about network setups. And the app works great for what I needed to do. In addition to that, it looks great on a desk. The only reason against it that I could think of is the limited amount of adjustments you can make, and I could imagine that bothering someone who is really into tweaking every little setting in their home network to make it more secure. Also, HomeKit router support would be great. The Amplifi app works great on the iPhone. It has a very clean and simple design. The initial setup process is so easy that I have decided not to film it. You literally just plug in the router, open up the app, set a name and password for your network, and you're ready to go. When you open up the app, you get a little overview of your router. There's a little indicator to let you know if everything is alright, the amount of devices currently connected, and your up and down speeds. If you tap on the device icon, you can tweak little settings like the LCD and LED brightness, more on that later, and also your network name, password, and the WPS setup for connecting new devices. In the Performance tab, you can do speed tests for your network, which are also saved in the app, so you can access the data across all devices that have the app installed and are connected to your network. Under the Guest tab, you can set up remote access, which I haven't really tried because I've never needed it, and also set up a guest network for a certain amount of time and certain amount of devices, which is really useful to make sure only the people you want to have access to your network can connect to it. Also, you can pause internet for certain devices, which might be useful if you have kids, but I haven't really used that apart from annoying my girlfriend. You can also run a diagnose to see if everything is working, which luckily I have never needed. I wish you could blacklist certain websites for the whole network instead of only certain users, but that's not an option at this point. Overall, the app works perfectly and does almost everything I would want it to do. Okay, I'm not going to go very deep into all the specs because I don't think that's what you're here for. Basically, the router has a 2.4 and 5 GHz antenna, and that makes for great Wi-Fi for all modern devices. Not as fast as the new Wi-Fi 6, but that would only be useful if you had an insanely fast internet connection provided in your house, which I don't. I've never had any connection issues or needed to reboot, and that's all I need. One thing I really like about this router is the fact that it has 4 Ethernet ports to connect, for example, bridges for smart home devices like Philips Hue, since most of the other small routers only have 1 or 2 ports. It is powered by USB-C, which I love, but honestly don't really care about that much on a router, since you'll probably plug it in once and then never really unplug it. There's a little round touchscreen display in the middle of the device, which can be used to display the time, the amount of data you're using, network info, current speeds, and port status. I don't think you really need something like that, but for smaller apartments where you might not be able to hide your router somewhere and you have to put it on your desk like me, it just looks really good. That also goes for the LED lighting underneath the router, which makes it almost look like it floats in the dark. Of course, the app has a feature to turn that off at certain times every night. All in all, I really like the design, and since I have to have my router on my desk in my current apartment, this was one of the main reasons for me to get this particular model. Alright, now who should buy this? I came up with a little flowchart to make the decision easier for you, since I think all of us might be guilty of sometimes buying stuff we don't need just because it looks fancy. So I got a few questions for you to help you make a more informed buying decision. There's basically only 3 questions. The first one is, do you have a Wi-Fi router already that works and that you're happy with? If the answer is yes, you don't need this. Just stick with your old router. If the answer is no, the next question is, will you be able to see it? If you're able to hide your router, you can get away with buying a cheaper one and just hiding it somewhere. While if you'll be able to see it, I think it might be worth it to invest in one that looks a little bit nicer. If the answer to that is yes, the only question left is if you need 4 ports. If you don't, you can buy, for example, the Eero router, or there's also the Linksys Velop, which might be very good. I've never tried it, to be honest, but they're all much cheaper, so I would only get this one if you really need the 4 ports. Last but not least, I tried to calculate the costs over time to help you make a better buying decision. This router is initially around 150 euros, or probably something around that in dollars, and I would expect it to have a lifetime of at least 5 years. If you divide 150 by 5 years, you will have an actual cost of around 30 euros per year, or 2.5 euros per month. So the main question for you will be if you're willing to spend 2.50 euros per month to have really great Wi-Fi and a good looking router on your desk, or if that's too much for you, and then you can also buy a cheaper one. Overall, for me, the purchase was worth it, and I'm very happy with the router. I love the fact that I'll be able to extend the network with mesh points if I ever need to, and the easy to use app and setup are also great for someone like me who isn't into home network tech at all. If you can justify the initial purchase, I think you'll be very happy with the product as well. Alright, that's it for the video. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe, and see you in the next one.